everybody! Welcome gently, the Wonky Goblin, Zoid Pinhead, and Orinoco. Hope you all have a lovely time. For those of you who had been at UK Games Expo, I hope you had a lovely, lovely time. Kind regards from Gerry. He's still trying to make up for his sore throat, so he's restraining himself from talking because he needs his voice, obviously. So he's passing on tonight. So we're on our own, which is totally fine. That being said, I still got some resident cough, so excuse me if I take a sip of coffee. Freshly brewed and very hot. So, how was your experience of UK Games Expo? Did you enjoy the show? Was it as spacious as it seemed? From the videos I've seen, it could also been very empty. But I hope that's just because the lads had made their videos on the end and starting phases of the day before the crowds get in. I didn't do much hobby, I think. No, not really. I was tempted to magnetize the gargoyles, but yeah, couldn't find any time and didn't do anything. Saturday was packed, says Wonky Goblin. And still you missed all the people that you wanted to gift some of your lovely goblins? That's a terrible shame. Did you at least meet some of the people? Other reports said it was busy, said Zoidpinhead. You say you listen to other channels than only on tabletop? Oh no! I'm still very much sitting in a big bag of chaos. Hello, Mr. Keepop, who doesn't go to UK Games Expo, he just meets people in the pub, which is a reasonable thing to do, I think. Isn't that the whole point about UK Games Expo? Small games, Soidpin? I think over 1,000 tickets sold more than last year. That doesn't sound as much initially. If you put it into percentile, I think it's about 5%? Question mark? I seem to remember somebody posting something about 55,000 individual tickets. So that must be 5%? Question mark? 2%? At least a noticeable increase in thingamajigs. I don't know how maths work. Last year there were a lot of big Euro-style games. The more I see coverage of UK Games Expo, the more it strikes me like the British version of Spiel in Essen. And that's a very crowded place to be. It's not for people with some kind of claustrophobia. Good evening, Mr. James Katz. Hello and welcome. Almost 56,000 tickets then. That's a number. I just hope my current reaction of throat to talk isn't happen anything bad. Excuse me. Hello, General Bumkicker, whoever you are. Jeff Bezos, his money's yeah. Oh, that reminds me, I need to revisit the foamy squirrel and put the Bezos money into his bank account. It has become some kind of tradition for me personally every month to go up to Foamy the squirrel and put the Bezos bucks into his coffers. Salute was just short of 8,000. Well, I guess that's for having a specialized convention and not a general purpose gaming convention. I get that, Wonky Goblin. And I always feel terrible when I'm the one who says, I'm bored, let's go home. Um, that's one of the reasons why I rather go to such big conventions on my own or in a very small group. If possible, I'd like to make a trip to Spiel in Essen, but that's always the planning is a nightmare. Travel is even worse, and yeah. Hello, Manda. Welcome. I hope you feel fine. Jeebus. Oh. I wish I brought some cough drops now. I left them in the kitchen on purpose because I didn't want you to sit here and just munch on some sweets. Oh, the heat. Yeah, it has been a bit sweaty in parts of Europe. Thankfully, we only had one very bad day, and since then it's been okayish, about 22 degrees in the afternoon. So yeah, Scorchio. What the hell is Scorchio? No, Manda, I haven't found my beard. It just went off on a holiday. It had enough. Frankly, it was just way too hot. Ah, Scorchio in Expo. Ah, I see. Oh God, 28 degrees in your bedroom. Fucking hell. I would have died. Or slept in the bathtub. Either would have been fine by me, or just not slept at all and just walked it off. Being more organized always helps when meeting people, Wonky. Might I suggest, if I remember correctly, you weren't one of the smaller persons around. Maybe you should get one of these Japanese back flags and just carry your sign around saying this is the Wonky Goblin, and so people can find you. Man, sorry to hear that. I hope you recover soon and quickly. Oh, James Cutts and Wonky Goblin have missed themselves about 2 minutes apart at Wyland. Did Wallard also have a store? I didn't see Wallard. 6-4, you don't need a flag. No, you don't need a flag to be seen, but you need a flag to be identified. So people know that you are the one they are looking for. Or even better, uh, try to get somebody to sew yourself a big goblin and sit that one on your shoulder. Or, and that's a big thing everybody from OTT could do, from the OTT community, wear a fez. Just wear a weird fez. So everybody who wears a fez is automatically spotted. Flakes, as James Scott says. No, I didn't see that. Merch! Zoidpin, exactly, we need merch. Buy merch. Merchandise. Oh, in Discord. I don't have Discord open right now. Maybe later. Oh, I think, Manda, the official OTT Fez will happen the moment Lloyd builds Rome and we get the team back in the studio. A wonky goblin t-shirt. Ah. Oh, we need a t-shirt that says all we wanted was a Fez and all we got was this bloody stupid t-shirt. Would be way more practical. Or maybe a hoodie which has a printed on Fez. If OTT was really creative, they could make a DIY version of Fez and just make a cutting pattern as a PDF download, and everybody can just print their own Fez and glue them together. I've seen your badges, James. Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, I've seen that picture of you marking Justin. I think my comment was, you need more super glue. Paper Fez, cardboard Fez. Technically, you could use a paper print out version as a cutting reference for actual cloth, because you already have the little overlaps you need to glue as a overlap that you could sew on. So would work in both ways. Terrain Fez. We need to call it Terror Fez because we are terrorizing them. Whatever happened to good old times when people used the newspaper and folded them into hats before painting anything? Maybe we should do that. Just fold up paper, write Fez on it. Oh, James, I would be careful with ordering Fezes from Temu. With my luck, you'll get something that's the size of a shot glass, if you're lucky. And in worst case, it'll be a what do you call these little finger protection thingies for sewing? Knotted hanky with Fez written on it. And then everybody runs around, my brain hurts! A 10-liter bucket. Lord Buckethead as a Fez. Oh, gran. That's a picture. How could you miss Gerry in a place like that? He should be seen from a mile away. He's the loud one with a microphone. Squirrels are sneaky. Well, fair enough. I'll give that to you, Manda. You're correct. Squirrels can be sneaky. Just be careful around him when you carry any sorts of nuts. So that's the banter bit. Did we have any special great news over the last week? Except for people shouting from the rooftop about 11th edition Warhamster. If Gerry starts crawling up your leg, you know you're in trouble. Oh God! Just stop putting weird pictures in my head, man. Oh God! I can't unsee that now. Oh, what have you done? Ah. Did people shout about something about Mantic? I didn't notice. Uh, in what regards do they change the style of the Kings of War miniatures? Do they go in a more comically route? I have to be honest, I haven't paid close attention to anything Kings of War related. To be brutally honest, the last hobby video I've seen was Mel with the return of his Burma build, and the video before that was Warhammer discussion about the new 40k orc models, which is odd. I feel Games Workshop is really trying to push this edition for some odd reason. I really don't have any close contacts to people currently playing current edition. How's your input on this? Do you feel the community is not interested? It almost feels like everybody looks at this and goes, yeah, meh. I did see this smiley lion, I think. Is that already furry? Uh, to be fair, I haven't done comparison between old and new Kings of War models, so there's always when there's change in art style, there's always people being annoyed about it. I do remember that I was very pissed when 3rd edition 40k came around with new orc models. I didn't like them at the time. I really did. I thought they looked like Frankenstein's monster, and I really much more liked the original 2nd edition and even the Gorkamorka orcs way better than what 3rd edition brought. That being said, they started to grow on me, like fungus tends to do, and now I can't get rid of them. The pre-painted terrain is more basic in real life. Have you had a chance to look at it at UK Games Expo? I feel the most asked question about the pre-painted terrain is, well, but how do you glue it? Do you need to scrape off paint? And I don't think so. My hypothesis is the frame where they do the injection molding only gets a surface level cover painting, and everything that's connecting downside will not be painted in any way, shape, or form. No price gun for the stand of Games Workshop. Well, I'm not sure if they still do it, but last time I visited a Games Workshop store, they didn't have any price tags on their product at all. There's just this is pricing level G, H, I, and then there's somewhere in the store there's a little sign that says things pricing G costs X euro. The OSL facts were missing on the pre-painted terrain. That seems odd. But that would be the most prominent feature I'd look forward to pre-painted terrain. Decently done OSL effects, because I can't do them. Wasn't there also a painting competition? Who won? Or is it still undecided? James, you're being rude. That's not how you haggle. You've seen Life of Brian, you know how to haggle. At least you could have given him 350. 250, you cheapskate. Tabletop workshop. I'm not sure I know that venue, but good on you getting deals. Yeah, Wonky, you do have more goblins. And on the what you call it? On that subject, um, I still very much love second edition rank and file 40k goblins, but at the same time, I really would like a big, large amount of more or less similar looking goblins as a unit for my third edition army. And I can't decide if I should go and wait for 11th edition goblins being released to see what that box is actually costing, or if I want to go the route of alternative vendors for tiny fighting greeny men. Do you have any suggestions of maybe something that's similar to the style of the Games Workshop Gretchen's Goblins, uh, but not as expensive, maybe? Preferably not 3D files. And I wonder if the goblins they've showed for the 11th edition unboxing, if the barrels are drilled on the model or if that was some kind of shenanigans the assembly team did later on. Good evening, Zork. Welcome. Hello. Ah, the Wonky Goblin. Of course he has suggestions. Who would have thought otherwise? And just by pure coincidence, the God Crusher. No, God Buster. Sorry. I'm really looking forward to what Cromlech and other companies will be churning out for 11th edition, because I have the gut feeling all those third party orc making miniature makers will be ramping up production for orcs like nobody's business. Cav Adam ones are almost as expensive as the bloody what you call it official Games Workshop ones. That's the silly part of it. And back in the day, I used some Night Goblins as a conversion for a Blood Bowl team. That would work in a weird way, I guess, if I made them some kind of uh missing words here. Um, Pseudo Mechanicus goblins, or what are they called? Ah, never mind. How many do I need for a base? I don't think that's how 40k works, because there's one goblin on a base, at least in second and third edition. I'm not sure how many miniatures there's. Oh no, the codex is buried. Hold on a sec. Yes, I know that the Cav Abaddon's ones are metal and amazing. Still makes them not cheap. Hold on a sec, this is going to go horribly wrong any second now. I really need to clean up this mess. How many are in a unit? Let's see. 10 to 30. 10 to 30 in third edition, and where's the... Not really given any number in second edition. None that I can see from the head of my... Character model, Toronto, MacBoys, mobs. Gretchen mob. 10 to 40. So 30 would be a nice number for a mob. I think I've got something around 60 second edition rank and flank models. But don't hold me to that. Yes, 30 would be expensive. That's why I'm asking for cheaper alternatives. But then again, I don't know what Games Workshop is going to ask for the new edition. Well, I could take a small gander on what they're currently going for the box. I think they have one in their offerings, if that hasn't gone out of stock by now. Xenos armies, orcs. A box with 12... No, 10. 10 Gretchens and a Runtard, or Herder, or whatever. Is 21 euros. So, wow, that's bloody expensive too. That's 21 euros for 10 goblins currently. Well, we will see what the market brings. And maybe some people will get rid of their surplus miniatures when they get their 11th edition starter boxes. Well, feel free to post a link. I didn't do anything that keeps you from posting. I guess not, James. The pre-order starts, if I remember correctly, in 4 days. And I really doubt that they will sell out. Nightmare miniatures. Space goblins. That's 11? Am I counting that correctly? Yeah, 11 for 32 euros. That's more. Though they do look interesting. 4 days and 10 minutes. Yeah, then they're going to be. If they sell out, it'll be that. You need to hang around for Justin's bin for 3 minis. I don't think Justin has ever played Orcs, did he? Yeah, they might be worth the money, Wonky. I won't dispute that, but it's still only a third of what I would need for a troop of goblins. And 3 times 33 euros is almost 100 if maths is not deceiving me. And that's fucking lot of chunk of change. At least for me and my hobby budget. So, nah. I'll keep an eye on the usual places and see what happens. Usually after edition starts, a new edition starts, people start to sell off their old stuff. So maybe I'm lucky, and if not, I got enough miniatures to paint. Just today, I did a blog post on my hobby blog and listing all the games I currently own, and yeah, let's say I've got enough miniatures to last me for some time. I didn't say it's enough miniatures, Jefferson. I just said I've got enough for now. So I won't be sitting here and saying, "Oh, I don't have anything to paint." Amanda has put out King Zawa. Goblin Battle Group. How many are in there? Doesn't really say how many there is. Oh, scroll down, you stupid one. 40. Yeah, would be nice for fantasy, but that needs a lot of conversion being done. And yes, I'm a lazy person. Hello, Gerry. The army box has 40, says the text, as Manda has said. See, you're stealing my voice now, Gerry. I hope you're happy. Yeah, eBay is a horrible place to look for anything hobby related these days. You might be lucky to get some things, but most things are horribly expensive. Hello, Nick. Welcome. Good day to you, sir. You are correct in that, Wonky Goblin. Croblack really have a fuck ton of conversion bits. And I do have some of them used as conversion bits on my orcs. Or, well, conversion bit is a bit much. I wasn't converting as much as I still had a lot of arms left over from the initial boys box from 4th edition, and so I bought some bodies and just had a lot of heads and arms to glue away. Oh, and Jerry, you will be happy to see there's no brown lemonade today. It's only coffee. Tasty, tasty coffee. Proudly sponsored by Badass Coffee. Hello, Horatio. So Nick worked as a drug dealer for Gerry on the floor of UK Games Expo. That's good to know. Technically, you're correct, Amanda, but some things I wouldn't do. And one of the things I wouldn't do is not show you that I'm drinking brown lemonade. Because I find it hilariously to see a reaction of people when I drink brown lemonade. Mmm. Coffee. Gerry, I don't think that's a recommended practice to taking paracetamol and washing it down with cough medicine. But I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. Oh, Jeebus. Is it though? Is it? I doubt that. Oh, I'm pretty sure, Nick, that I would have loved the pub, even if it was a horrible pub, as long as the accompanying peoples are nice and the beer is cold. If the beer is not cold, I'm not happy. But then again, I'm very happy after 2 beers, so I'm very cheap. And should I ever win the lottery, be sure and assured in I promise, should I do that, I will be visiting UK Games Expo Salute in weird places in Ireland. Uh, James, that sounds horribly specific. Is there anything you want to tell the audience, James? It tasted good. Yeah, I mean the weirdest part about, or the no, the not the weirdest, but the impressive part about it is that the childproof bottle wasn't childproof at age 4. So I guess that's on the company to blame. Useful advice if I ever have 4 again. Well, at some point in your later life, you might feel like 4 again. You'll be wetting your pants and having no teeth. It's all a bell curve. I'm just about on the downslope again, so well, I hate to say it, but that would be a lot of money. Orinoco, even if I could be US president, I don't think I would want to. I'd feel like the poor sod in idiocracy. And nah, that's not even a cautionary tale anymore. That's a nightmare. Wonky, that would be highly appreciated, though I do not make any promises about making purchases because I am cheap. Oh, James Cut might have been persuaded by Pandyman to come over to Tactica. I'm guessing you're talking about next year, not this year, because this year Tactica has already gone, done and dusted. I forgot what's Tactica. Uh, theme for next year. Let me just take a quick peek. No, go away. Epic battles and legendary moments. Well, that's sounds interesting. It's not as specific as the last few Tacticas. Yeah, Jefferson. Very much true. And the ferry has a 18-pound upgrade for unlimited drinks and sandwiches in first class. Wonky, that's very kind of you. I'm not expecting to find that many miniatures from one vendor, so I will be mixing and matching and see what happens. They're fucking goblins. Nobody will notice. James, where does your ferry go? Because there was a ferry going from Hamburg directly to England at a time, but that has ceased operating ever since the Eurotunnel is opened. You would notice you would see your own miniatures. That's correct, Mr. Complin. Um, but to be fair, most people who take a closer look and are not as blind as a bat would probably notice different vendors. But would that matter? Dunkirk. Pendy was explaining several beers in. That makes following instructions a bit hard, isn't it? Well, in that case, I'm guessing the if you're going to Dunkirk, the travel time wouldn't be as long as it was from Hamburg. Though I still really miss that ferry. I would love to have that ferry back. It was I think, 20-ish hours trip overnight. It's like a mini cruise. It just was very, very lovely. Plus, it was a car ferry, so people actually drove in and out, and it went to Hamburg. So perfect. Almost no need for additional transportation. 14 hours driving. Oh, fuck's sake. That's the very good part of being on a ferry for almost a day. You have time to do stuff like reading, eating, drinking, gambling. Penny wanted a designated driver, so could he take advantage of that 80-pound upgrade? Where can you blame him? Oh, maybe maybe you should look into what the Perry brothers are doing. I don't know how they come, what ways of travel they use, but they have been on almost every Hamburg Tactica for years now. So share a ride with the Perrys. Weapons on Gretchen's in third edition. Let me take a quick look, but I think you're right. If even that much is there. Where are you boys? There they are. Nope, just a gun. Nothing more. Just a blunderbuss. Justin on a smoke break while other people eat steaks. We should force Justin to go into a purely plant-based restaurant for a day. Just on a smoke break. Every 50 minutes on 6 days. No, man, because they are so large groups, they just interlock and stay in place for while firing. But from experience, I can tell they don't do shit against Terminators. I tried to stop a Black Templar Terminator way back when, and I did hit a lot, but pea shooters. Jeebus. I'm pretty sure I maxed out the unit back then, Manda, so there were enough goblins. Because technically they did stop him, because he was in close combat, surrounded by goblins, and couldn't move for 1.5 turns until he stomped them all to death. Well, James, that's why we invented the shock attack gun. Putting some goblins through the warp. Wah! Oh god, I miss the lunatic way of playing. Yep, that's correct. 2 more units. Technically, they are standard unit in 3rd edition, so I could use up to 6. That would be 180 goblins. Oopsie. Maybe I should go back to cardboard standees. Well, the idea of converting anything else is great on paper, but where to get? No. Yeah, Amanda, the movement phase was very lovely back in the day because I had 2 big units of them. And I didn't put them in a sandwich bag. Or as Gerry calls them, 3D movement trays. But I was tempted to make some sort of fantasy-like movement trays. Later in the game, I just shoved them along the lines, which worked and annoyed everybody. Since Gerry is also in the audience, might I pose a question to all of you? Because I really feel I'm way out of the loop. When I took a peek at the now released new rules for 40k, I saw the page count stop at 77 pages, or was it 88? 88 pages. Is that normal? Is that the new normal for new games? Why so many pages? What's wrong with simple rules? That's not a lot for Games Workshop. Jeebus Christ, you're scaring me, Amanda. Up. Bloody hell. Yeah. That's not good. 88. Well, let me just check 3rd edition. So, let's be generous and take into consideration the setup of the gaming table. 66 pages of rules. If we do not take into account the starting and just go by rules, it's 58 pages. OBR will sue Games Workshop if Games Workshop tries to make a shorter rulebook. Well, to be fair, if anybody remembers the initial rule for Age of Sigmar was 4 pages, if I remember correctly. 2 sheets of A4 paper. Seventh edition, just the rules, is 207 pages? Jesus Christ. James, I had heard rumors in a German Discord that the printed version is already corrected in some parts, so... Well, here's the semantic bit. Is a page the single side of a sheet of paper, or is the page the sheet of paper in its wholeness with both sides? See, this is where I like to differ. But be that as it may, my point stands that the Age of Sigmar rules were way out before one-page rules were. One book rules. There's your game name sorted, Wonky. 40k first edition Rogue Trader read like an RPG wargame hybrid, and I swear Games Workshop have been trying to build something even more complicated. How does the numbering work in books? Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's still, you tear off a page of a book. You have still 2 printed sides. You don't say tear out pages and only take 1 sheet. You say you tear out a page. Words are weird, and I intentionally try to be stupid for entertainment purposes. It's like coding Windows. Keep plonking stuff on top of a mess that is. I mean, coming back to 11th edition, I do have to give them credit for some details I personally find very nice. One of them is the embossed orc glyphs on the banner. I like that very much. But that's just one small bit in a very large box. With any luck, the coming weekend I'll have some time painting up my Tyranids some more. Um, Not sure which in which order I'll do stuff. I'm debating with myself either blocking in colors first and then doing a wash, or doing a wash first and then block in colors. Has both approaches have their plus and minuses, I think. Though I do really think I might go wash first, just to have all the talons and claws, teeth be very bright. Spring Clean challenge clock is ticking. Yeah, you're correct on that. But if I remember correctly, having finished a project isn't mandatory for being eligible for any prizes. So I'll do it at my pace. Why do a wash first? Because the parts that I want to have in a brighter color, so the what do you call it, the hard shell and the teeth, don't I don't want them to be stained. So if I do wash first, I get my magic painting talent in the bottle effect, plus I get very clean colors afterwards. Wonky Goblin is painting a knoll from Moonstone. Oh, happy to see the comment of yours in regards to the plastic putty. I'm happy that that stuff helped you. That is true, Zoidpinhead, but at the same time, that argument doesn't enforce your encouragement about Sprinkling Challenge being over soon. Simply because of the amount of miniatures, Nick. We're talking a lot of Tyranids. And I want them to be done. Yeah, I could do a selective application of Wash Mana, that's correct. But that would take more time. Um, Doing it before blocking in colors leaves me with the opportunity to just use a big brush and go schlop. Ewok him up. Suddenly reminded about Spring Clean Challenge. Oopsie. Well, to be fair, James, after initial regular updates on the Spring Clean Challenge happening, they somehow went a bit quiet. But then again, it's still spring. Still, you still can do it. Just make yourself do something. You could just put a a sealed box in your garden, take a picture with a box in the garden, and then try to win the prize about taking pictures in nature. At least 3 weeks Zoidpin had. I'm pretty sure there might be extensions to the deadline of sorts. Exactly, Ewok. I know. No, Gerry, you can't be. You cruel man. Oh. Well, I guess I'll have to speed up then a bit. If all else fails, a Spring Clean Challenge project will be converted into another Spring Clean Challenge next year. There's still a half-built Brock over there. I could just take a picture of my messy hobby room, clean it, and post that as a Spring Clean Challenge that I could repeat every 3 to 4 weeks. Terrain fairs, yes. Terrain fairs. And Orktober. Do not forget the Orktober. Now, Ewok. The project system has improved very much. I used it more often lately, and it hasn't failed me once since then. Knock on wood. It's not Sheffield City Council, Mr. James. Yes, Banner, absolutely my opinion as well. It has stabilized. Um, I had a weird timeout today, but nothing in regards to the project. So maybe just something in the background taking too much power. The hamsters have had a heat stroke. Oh yeah, bot attacking thing. Yeah, that's. You guys pay Cloudflare, shouldn't they protect you from that? That's true. That's true. Yeah, but to come back to the little cheeky git that is Ewok, the site has improved in reliability and speed. So I'm not uh, I'm not going to pile on onto that. I feel Tom is doing a good job. Yeah, Jefferson, true. Same with cyber security insurances. They're useless. If you can have all the insurance you want for your cybersecurity, they will find a way to say, "Nah, you didn't do this, so you're not getting anything." Correct, Mr. Jefferson Powers. Though I'd say cybersecurity is especially bad in that regard. At least my car insurance way back when did pay for my broken windscreen. That's the point. They will find something you did wrong or not to their specifications, and at that point they just wave their hands and go, "Nope, not our fault. You're not eligible. Go flock yourselves." It would be way more productive to just not have a cybersecurity and put the money you would pay for a cybersecurity into some kind of savings account. Yeah, that's correct, Zoiponet. That's correct. But technically, that's their job. So, there's that. I'm sorry, guys. I think we'll have to cut this short today because I'm all out of coffee, but I'm not out of coughs, and I still need my voice tomorrow. I hope you lot have a nice evening. You enjoy your hobby, and we will see each other next week, here or in another place. And remember, 3 more weeks until deadline for Spring Clean Challenge, as the large man in the corner said. Have a good night. Bye.